You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Palumbo. Here's a look at your top stories at this hour. We are counting down to Super Bowl 58. CBS is your home for the big game in Las Vegas, and there's a lot of excitement and fun just leading up to Sunday. More than 1,500 local kids helping kick off the interactive Super Bowl experience today. It's all part of the NFL's initiative to promote exercise and a healthy lifestyle at an early age. And KCAL's Danya Backus is live in Vegas with all the details. Danya, so exciting. It's happening.
Yes, it is happening, and you can feel it in the air, the excitement here. And today, so many young NFL fans got the chance to take part in the Super Bowl experience and see what it's like to be an NFL player for a day.
1, 2, 3.
It's all about the kids at the Super Bowl experience in Las Vegas.
It's really cool, fun. It's a good place to come if you're new to football and stuff.
Play 60 is a special session of the Super Bowl experience to promote exercise and a healthy lifestyle for kids.
So NFL Play 60 is our youth health and wellness initiative to get kids active for 60 minutes a day.
But for many of the future stars here, today was their Super Bowl. There were plenty of passes caught, a few misses, and even a touchdown or two.
It was very fun, and I don't want it to stop.
13-year-old Nikita Wilkes had never played football before.
It was a little tricky, but it was really fun, so I'm trying new things.
This is one of the most popular activities here. Kids get the chance to do running, catching, and tackling drills, and they even do it with some NFL players. What do you like about the game of football?
That you get a tackle.
There's also another perk for many students here today.
Are you missing a day of school to be here?
Yes.
I'm sure that's pretty fun too.
Yeah, that's real fun.
The Super Bowl experience opens to the general public Wednesday, giving fans of all ages a chance to score.
Yeah, and it's not just the young NFL fans. We are definitely starting to see more of the older ones coming to the Las Vegas Strip as well, wearing their gear and getting ready for the big game. Ross?
Danya, I love how the kids said the most exciting part is just to get to tackle. What are the kids saying and all the adults saying about Taylor Swift? Is that a big part of the lead up to the game? Is everyone excited about her being there?
Now, Ross, I think you already know the answer to that question. Yes, there's a lot of excitement and buzz. People hoping Taylor Swift will be able to make it here. Of course, we know that she has a concert the night before the Super Bowl, but the Japanese embassy, that concert's in Japan, the Japanese embassy has actually sent out a note reassuring fans that she will be able to make it to the big game. So, of course, all eyes will be watching, and a lot of fans will be waiting to see if she makes it.
Yeah, and you know what? Where she's performing is 17 hours ahead. So plenty of time to get here on her private jet. Danya Backus, when she arrives, we'll come right out to you for that exclusive one-on-one interview with Taylor.
Right.
All right, thank you so much.
I'll be waiting on the tarmac for her.
All right, thanks a lot. And we will have much more team coverage leading up to the Super Bowl. Our Chauncey Glover will be live in Las Vegas all week long right here on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, breaking just moments ago, the LAPD has a new leader. You heard it here first on CBS News Los Angeles just moments ago. Assistant Chief Dominic Choi has just been named interim LAPD Chief. He will be the first Asian American to lead the department.
I'll focus on addressing morale and employee wellness. Ensure the officers are properly trained when they're responding to calls involving persons with mental illness. That we're prepared and ready for the increasing ongoing number of demonstrations and protests throughout the city, that we're responding lawfully and appropriately to the city and the public's satisfaction. Ultimately, my goal is to set the stage, establish a framework for a smooth transition for the next Chief of Police of the Los Angeles Police Department. Again, this is an incredible opportunity for me. I'm excited and ready for the work. And thank you all for your time.
Choi says that he will not be running for the permanent job. That's the agreement, becoming the interim chief, but he still will temporarily be the 58th police chief of LAPD. He's a 28-year veteran of the force. He's also the son of Korean immigrants born right here in Los Angeles, and he's a USC graduate. Taking a live look outside right now, there is sun, at least more than we've seen in a few days after that massive storm. The historic rain has paused for now, at least for a couple of hours. KCAL meteorologist Olga Ospina has her next weather and the details on when that rain's coming back again. Olga.
Ross, it is coming back pretty quickly. We're already starting to see a few showers developing, but it was certainly nice to see the sunshine today and enjoy at least a few hours of dry conditions. For some of you, you are still dry, but that's set to change as we head into later tonight, because look at all this moisture that is still to our north. We're seeing actually lightning strikes as well. So some convection expected, also a possibility as we head into the next several hours. I'll show you here on Futurecast. Most of us remaining dry really throughout the afternoon. It's not going to be until tonight as we head into the 6 o'clock hour. We start to see some of that rain moving across parts of Ventura County, lowering snow levels as well. So this is going to be a cold storm continuing to impact us as we head into the 7 o'clock hour. And you can see this very heavy rain band impacting us all the way down to the coastline for Ventura County and starting to spread into LA as we head into 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. And we'll see that across Santa Clarita, into Agora Hills, and then into parts of LA, moving into the South Bay as we head into the 8 o'clock hour, continuing to spread to the east. So Orange County, Inland Empire, you're going to be feeling the brunt of that storm as we head into 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. And then it's continuing to push off to the east. And by midnight, really not a whole lot of rain, but lowering snow levels. So if you travel through places like the Grapevine, we could see an inch or two of snow, and we could see some delays and closures as well. So tomorrow morning, most of us are actually expecting some drier conditions, a stray shower or two, but really not a whole lot. Here we are by Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Things are looking good, but definitely some cold air left behind and some really impressive rain totals too. So want to show you this month, downtown Los Angeles has received more than 10 inches of rain. This is from just this one huge storm, but typically in the season we get more than 15 inches of rain. That's what we have seen already this season. So we've surpassed the annual average, which is just over 14 inches. So pretty incredible. If we get no more rain for this season, we would be just fine. Here's a look at your ski report. Look at all the snow that's fallen as well. Mammoth at nearly 80 inches. We're at 4 feet in Mountain High, right around 3 for Mount Baldy, Bear Mountain, and Snow Summit. So those resorts are looking amazing. As we head into the weekend, it's going to be a nice one, but they're going to have so much fresh powder. Want to show you the Futurecast because here comes that next storm, and then here is the good news. As we head into Thursday, Friday, we see this area of high pressure, weak high pressure building in. It's going to block any rain from impacting us, and we are going to remain dry as we head into the weekend, but still picking up a little bit more rain. We're talking about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. Some spots could see close to 1 inch of rain. It's going to move through very quickly. Again, it's going to impact us mostly tonight. And then by tomorrow, we're dry. Still keeping that flood watch in place through late tonight for Inland Empire, Orange County into San Diego. And that's going to just be for the next several hours. We still have winter weather alerts. We have that winter storm warning as well as the winter weather advisory. And again, snow levels are dropping. So some of the passes, including the Grapevine, if you travel through those areas, keep that in mind. You could see a little bit of snow out there leading to some delays or closures. As we head into your next several days, next to six to 10 days, look at this. We're actually looking at drier conditions across Southern California and across the state. So we're drying out for the weekend and for next week. Look at temperatures by the weekend. It's still going to be cool, but it's going to be sunny, 63, 64 degrees as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to keep things dry, slowly warming things up, getting a little closer as we head into Tuesday. So at least for the next 6 days or so, we're going to remain dry. We could see a little bit of drizzle on Wednesday, but for now, enjoy the sunshine and finally drying out from all of this rain, Ross.
Look at all that sunshine. That's awesome, and we deserve it, right, Olga? Thanks so much. Well, while the storm did cause some major damage, the upside could be what all the rain does to our water supply. But just how much was saved, and is enough being done to collect all of it? Jasmine Viel now with the answer.
Well, you see the sun is shining. We're trying to dry out after all of that rain with that atmospheric river we had over the last few days. So our story today is looking at just exactly how much of that rain were we able to collect and save. I mean, we don't want to be in a drought situation ever again. I mean, that's the wishful thinking here in the state of California. But the reality is we were just not able to save all of it or even much of it yet. We just don't have the infrastructure in place. So we're talking to the experts today. We drove down here to Pico Rivera. This is the Rio Hondo spreading grounds, about 570 acres that you see behind me. Which takes in all of that runoff from the San Gabriel River, from the San Gabriel Dam and other channels. It collects it right here. And these spreading grounds, there are 26 of them for LA County, all around LA County, 26 of these spreading grounds. And what happens is it collects this water, it collects that rainwater, and allows it to percolate slowly into the groundwater basins to allow for that pumping to happen right into our homes for our drinking water. But in those drought years, we see that it runs out pretty quickly. So we're talking to LA County Public Works about what kind of infrastructure they would like to see in place in the future to collect more of that rainwater. Right now, I think they said about 40% is able to be used, but they would like to double that to 80% by 2045. We're also going to be talking to a professor, an expert at a local university about this, about the rainwater collection efforts in the state of California and, of course, here locally. So we are checking things out. We have the drone up, giving you a better shot of these spreading grounds, and we'll see you on KCAL News later today.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasmine. We'll see here coming up at 4 o'clock. The EPA has finalized a new federal air quality standard for fine soot. It's a step towards reducing deadly air pollution. The agency is reducing the annual amount of fine particle pollution from 12 to 9 micrograms per cubic meter. Here with more on this new update is Will Barrett with the American Lung Association. Thanks for joining us, Will.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's start from the very beginning. What does this mean for public health? Can you boil it down in terms that people can easily understand? This is a big change.
Sure. Well, it's an important change. We see this as an important step forward for protecting public health by ensuring that particle pollution levels, or soot, come down over the coming years to better protect public health. Now, we know that the standards could have gone further. We could have gotten even stronger health protections, but we see this as a real win and a real step forward in making sure that the air becomes cleaner.
And, you know, talking about the air here, Will, your group, the American Lung Association, actually grades cities on how the air quality is. And in the Southland, we haven't gotten a very good grade, have we?
Well, we know that Southern California has some of the most difficult air pollution challenges in the United States, ranks number 4 in the country in our assessment for annual particle pollution that EPA just acted on. So again, I think that it's important to take away from this action that the standards are being strengthened to better protect public health, to help drive more pollution cleanup. And it's so critical in places that have high levels of burdens today.
You know, everyone knows that we have smog here in Los Angeles. What's the difference between smog and soot? Are we just talking about carbon emissions like from fireplaces?
Well, particle pollution is kind of tiny microscopic bits of ash or soot or smoke, like you said, from fireplaces, whereas ozone or smog is coming from tailpipe emissions and other combustion sources that cook in the sun on hot, sunny days and form this corrosive, odorless gas that can actually burn your lungs. So particle pollution that EPA just acted on, these tiny bits of pollution can get deep into our lungs. They can actually bypass the body's defenses, cross from the lungs into the bloodstream, and they can wreak a whole lot of havoc on our bodies.
You know, and specifically, it's children that are at risk. Isn't that correct? I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of kids who have serious issues because of all of this.
Well, that's right. Children are especially vulnerable to particle emissions. Everyone is. There's no safe level of particle pollution to breathe. So for kids, they're breathing in a lot more for their body weight. It can have impacts on their lung function and development, can trigger asthma attacks, and again, a range of other health consequences. And for adults, even healthy adults, particle pollution can trigger asthma attacks. Particle pollution can trigger lung cancer or cause lung cancer, heart attacks and strokes, and thousands of premature deaths every year in California and more nationally are attributed to exposure to unhealthy levels of particle pollution.
You know, the EPA was so instrumental from its inception, really in the 70s, to eliminating smog in the Los Angeles area. How big of a difference will this change now make, and how quickly do you think we'll notice a real difference in health here in Southern California?
Well, the announcement today sets forward a pathway for planning and monitoring and keeping or setting new programs in place to reduce pollution. So the standard announcement today will set off, a few years from now we'll have those meaningful reductions starting to come in. But that's not to say that there isn't action being taken now to meet the current standard, the previous standard. So there's a lot of work being done at the local and state and federal levels to help clean up the air. But we know that there's so much more that needs to be done to address all of these harmful sources of pollution that are impacting so many people.
Right, and all of us can make a difference, right? What can we all do in our daily lives to help protect our lung health?
Well, one of the key things, and actually the EPA proposal noted changes to the air quality index. So that's the metric for letting us know the level of pollution in the air on a given day, right? Mm-hmm. So paying attention to air quality monitoring information that the local air district puts out, for example, and making sure that you're not putting yourself at risk by being outside during very unhealthy levels of pollution, or keeping an eye on your kids when the pollution levels are elevated. There's a lot of ways that you can get involved in protecting your own health and the health of your family, but also ways you can get involved in becoming an advocate for cleaner air. And that's speaking up at your local government, regional agencies, state and federal agencies, to really drive the point home that the level of pollution we're breathing now is unacceptable, and we need to go further and further to clean the air. Right, maybe turn your own thermostat down to prevent electric producers from putting more soot in the air, or maybe not using your fireplace when you don't need it for a primary source of heat, right? I think, as the poster says behind you, when we're all soft on soot, kids suffer. It's a good message to keep in mind. Will Barrett, thank you so much for your time and your insight today. Very important. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Will. And this has been The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. We will be back live in just about 44 minutes on KCAL News at 4 here on CBS News Los Angeles.